Ladies and gentlemen, welcome from all across the world. This is Francis right here in another scintillating edition with a very high-profile individual. Currently, he's a professional footballer. He has played in trade in different parts of the world. Right now, he's in Kazakhstan. You'll be surprised to get some very vital information from him. He's actually played with Kelechi Iheanacho, that's right. Yes, he's also played with... Okay, let me allow him to do the introduction, then he takes it up from there. You're welcome, Mr. Aliyu Abukakar.
Thank you.
Please do a very quick introduction of yourself.
Okay, I'm MON, Aliyu Abukakar, Audu, Nigerian International. I World Cup winner with Nigeria under 20, under 23, and home based Super Eagles and senior Super Eagles. Invitee too as well, and played a lot of clubs in Europe, and still playing right now in Kazakhstan.
Wow.
Yeah, Hentengri FC at the moment.
That's a heavy one. We're going to break it down so that we'll get all the information necessary. First of all, you use this title MON. Please tell us more about that.
Yeah, it's member order of the Niger, being honored by the federal government, by the country, for winning World Cup, bringing good name to the nation.
Right now, Nigeria's reputation is under attack across different parts of the world. And tell us, before we can actually, anyone can get that title MON, what does it require?
Well, you need to serve your father's land and bring a good name to the country, be a hero for the nation. So.
I think it would be quite disrespectful for me to introduce him without MON. So I'm going to go back and say MON Aliyu Abukakar. Forgive me. All right, welcome again to the show.
Thank you.
You've got a lot of experience. Right now, you're an active professional. Tell us about your experience in the Under-17 World Cup, where you emerged as the winners eventually.
Well, it's a very amazing feeling, and let's say it's like the first step of my professional career in football. And it's a very, very, very good, let me just say, an education to my life, generally, aside from the Western education.
That's right. That's
itself, right. It's an education. So at that period and at that phase of my life, it's just like a change, you know? Like you get to a certain level of
transition.
Transition, that dimension, and start to understand things different, and start to become like a man, you know, I would say.
You know, before we actually got on camera, we were saying something behind camera about the story and then the glory.
Yes.
You are wallowing in the glory right now. Was there a story behind your success?
Of course, of course. Behind every success, there's always a price to pay, and there's always a sacrifice to make to get to a certain level in your life. Nothing happened just like that.
How was it when you started?
Well, football for me, I started from a very, very young age. I grew up in a very footballing area where I have a lot of seniors that I look up to as a young boy. But a lot of them, they didn't make it, you know. But watching them, it's like watching, you know, Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo now. These are people
real talented footballer.
Yes, real talented footballer. They are blessed with it.
Talented, but they didn't make it. How does it sound?
They say a born baller.
Wow.
Yes, like they're born with it. Because Nigeria is, let me just say, just the way Brazil is, the same way Nigeria is, you know. And like the statement I made to you behind the camera, I said, people always see the sacrifice of those who have made it to a certain level in football. But believe me, before you make it in football, there's a lot of sacrifice that you have to make. But believe me, there are those people still back there in the streets, back home today, they are still making this sacrifice and still believing. Some people will wake up, they can't promise the next meal.
Wow.
But they never give up, they are still going inside the pitch to play, to fight. Still believing that one day they will get to that point.
You talked about Nigeria being a pool of talented footballers. Why is it that some people are successful, some are not?
Well, let me just...
Is there anything... Okay, let's begin with you. You are an MON.
Yeah.
You're well recognized all across the world.
Yeah.
Was there something you did differently that made you this successful?
First of all, I would say that it's a blessing of God, it's a grace of God. Because in my life, everything I do, I put God first. And I would say that growing up, I make a lot of sacrifice. But I can't say because I make a lot of sacrifice, I'm better than
That's
people
right.
who don't
That's
make
right.
it.
That's
You
right.
understand? Because at some point in your life, you understand you've been privileged.
That's right.
But for me, what really matters and the key is my determination and the discipline. I'm a very, very disciplined person and a very determined person. When I put my mind towards a goal, believe me, I will put all my life and everything to make sure I fight for it, because there's always a storm in every way.
That's right.
There's always a pothole.
That's right.
But if you never let them break you, then the only way you will celebrate those potholes is when you get to your destination.
That's right.
Behind every rough ride, you know.
That's right.
So going through all those phases, all those journey, growing up, I never give up, because I know that one day what is the most important motivation for me is the last celebration.
The last laugh.
Yes, the last celebration.
You know, when you came to this country, you were applying your trade in Kazakhstan. A couple of years back, you were once the highest paid foreign footballer.
Yes, in Kazakhstan. Well, I came from Ukraine. I was playing in Olympic Donetsk, from Belarus to Ukraine, and from Ukraine, and I came here to Shakhtar Karaganda.
Karaganda?
Came here, a very high profile player, but that same year is a shock to the whole of the world because of the pandemic.
Coronavirus,
so
football
was put on hold, and we have to stay in the hotel, in the camp, for like almost 6 months waiting for football. Then we end up just playing a half round that year here. But before even coming to Shakhtar Karaganda, the first club I was supposed to come to Kazakhstan was Kairat. I rejected it.
Wow. Kairat? Yes. Almighty Kairat.
Yes. They
Wow.
sent me an invitation, everything to come, but then I didn't know anything about Kazakhstan, because hearing the name, I was thinking like Afghanistan, but I never know it's an amazing place like this, you know.
That's right.
Because really in life, what you don't know is bigger than you.
That's right.
So I never know anything about the country, about the club and all of that, their culture and all of that. So when the agent brought me the invitation and everything, I still have it on my phone until today. Yeah.
How were you able to sell yourself? Getting invitations from here? We have players who are good, let's say good or talented, but they don't seem to have this kind of exposure you are having. Was it maybe after you're under 17, you were a finalist? Was this kind of a big addition to your profile? How were you able to get all the exposure?
Well, let me put it this way, because if I would say it's because of the World Cup, I should be playing in England by now, because I had the chances to play in Liverpool. I was in Sevilla.
Wow.
Yes,
Sevilla in Spain?
Yes, I was in Granada in Spain, and I was in Anderlecht in Belgium.
Wow.
Yes, and even Liverpool scouts, they follow me to Sweden, you know, begging just for me to sign. And Brescia from Italy, and I think was it Lazio or Napoli, they follow me also to Nigeria. I speak with my parents, and Bayern Leverkusen from Bundesliga. Even then in Nigeria, everything was written already, like, okay, I'm going to Bayern Leverkusen, like 100%. Everybody already knew about it in the news and everything. But, well, it's a long story. But wherever you find yourself in life, you just give glory to God.
That's
and
right.
You move on. And like your question, you said, how comes I'm getting all the attention and all of that. There's a saying, they say that when you work very hard and you work very good, you get the reward. I'm always this kind of a humble player in the club, where first of all, when I arrive in the club, I first try to put myself to learn from the most experienced players in the club. Don't try to put myself in the same level, because anywhere you go, you meet people. When you humble yourself, you learn from them, and you become the best there.
That's right.
That's the only way you can become a best, wherever you go to. So anytime I get to a club like that, I never stop working hard in training. Any day I train less of my level or less of a standard of training of other players, I never forgive myself when I get back home. Even after game, when we lose as a team and everything, the frustration is always there. It's like a very bad...
You have this drive, you want to succeed.
It's something like, it's natural inside me, or if I have a bad game or something. In the pitch, when I get inside the pitch, I'm a different person.
You're a beast.
Yes, but outside the pitch, I'm a normal person, a very calm person.
We will share some of your videos so that the viewers can actually watch, because I mean, you're very loaded. And talking about, you are an MON holder.
Yes.
When I say this word, I spell it in capital letters, because to get this kind of certification, this kind of honor, is out of this world. And we're talking behind camera that this is equivalent to the kind of sir
Yes.
the British give their citizens who deserve it.
All
Like,
over the world, yeah. It's a
now,
national
can
home.
you tell me, with all this honor, reputation, glory following you,
Yeah.
you are this humble. Someone on the street may see you and be like, hey, this is just another guy. Why this kind of humility?
Well, because I believe in life like humility pays. And right from time, it's like a vow I make with my God, like whatever I do, I will still be who I am. But the most important thing, I should be a good motivation to others, to the next generation
That's
as well.
right.
Because everything I do, I always look back and know that other people are looking up to me the way I'm looking up to other people who are growing up. So, in life, you can't promise tomorrow.
That's right. That's
No
right.
matter what level and what position of life you are, you try to feel pompous or feel big about it. At the end of the day, bro, it doesn't promise or add even 1 minute
To your
life
life.
you're going to
That's
live
right.
in this life.
That's right.
So you have to be humble on everything. I've seen people who have get to the very top. It's not their wish or they're doing or they are not smart or they don't invest well. But at the end of the
They
day,
crash.
they crash. You know.
That's right.
And people they least expected in their life help them. So this is life, you know.
Playing across different leagues in the world, especially represented Nigeria under 17, under 20, under 23, a lot of experience, exposure. There are young players who want to be where you are right now. What have you got to say to them?
Well, I will say to them, first of all, you must know your dream. Because you can't do what you don't know. And believing in your dream, it's another thing. When you believe in your dream, it's something different. But what is more important in believing in your own dream is what sacrifice are you ready to
what
make?
sacrifice?
What is the discipline you're going to offer to your career? Are you ready to sacrifice the nightlife, the bad life that all of your friends
The
are
pleasure.
going out, all the pleasures around you and all of that? Sorry, I'm using it like bad life, you know, but it's true.
It's true.
This
It's
is
true.
This is the opportunity I had while growing up, having good elder ones around me and always advising me, you know. Believe me, back then, until when I played World Cup, I never had a girlfriend.
Wow.
Right from my secondary school days.
That
You know
sounds
why?
incredible.
Yes. You know why? Because while growing up, our grassroots coaches will always say to us, if you want to be successful in football, you have to leave women, you have to leave alcohol, you know.
And you listen, and you listen.
Our African way, because the message they pass to us, we see it like this is the ladder to the success, and this is the ladder to our dream. So if we can be able to keep these things, is what they say to us every day. If you can be able to keep these things, this is the only way you can make it.
Wow. You
So because I love this football so much, I'm very
ready to
determined.
keep everything aside.
Yes, I sacrifice everything. So
Wow.
sometimes when you know that this thing will be distraction for you, you have to let go of those things. Believe me, now you are doing it. Your friends might be doing it now in a certain level. But when you get to the peak or you get to your dream land, I would just say a dream land at the end of the day, you will see you are doing it in a more better way. In a more, even more expensive way and all of that, you know. So behind every good life, there's a sacrifice.
MON Aliyu Abukakar, I mean, you're a wealth, you're a compendium of information, wisdom. And the good thing about you is that you still got a lot of years ahead of you. You still got dreams, ambition. Perhaps you would like to share with us what your football ambition and dreams are.
Well, I'm a kind of person that I take everything step by step.
That's right.
I believe I've had my own storm, but I thank God I overcome a lot of phases of life. And at the end of the day, I'm still here, so I'm still hoping and still dreaming and believing in God. That is the most important one in my life, because everywhere I find myself, I always believe is the grace of God that put me there, so I always celebrate it. But in my own human part, I always dream I still have the chance to play in bigger leagues.
That's right, absolutely.
Bigger thing, but now the most important thing on the most important phase right now, what I'm thinking in my life is to be a better person and be a good person than I was yesterday, and to be a more disciplined person than I was yesterday. This is the most important thing for me right now. because for football, I'm working hard, I'm grinding, still giving my best, fighting every day, because it's been part of me already. So the rest, I only pray for the grace of God and the favor of God, you know.
I can't count how many times you've used God during this conversation. This tells me that you're quite God-fearing.
Yes.
You know, when people get to the level where you are now, they seem to forget God. Not because they really want to, but perhaps distraction, praise is coming from here, and they feel like, okay, they can never go back, they can never fall. Why do you still have that atom of God being God-fearing?
Okay, I will give you just a short story. It's
I'm listening. The viewers are also listening.
a very short story, you know, about my life. I grew up from a family where nobody played football. Football was never an option in my family. Not my dad, not my brother, not my sister, nobody cares about football. It's just all about education or try to learn some
Trade.
trade or work or something like that, you know. But for me, I never even grew up in an environment where I only have seniors who play football that I admired. But I've never have a senior who come to me to encourage me.
Wow.
Not even give me a socks or even a football jersey
Or even a
football
boot.
boots to encourage me to play. So, and in this point, before I get to the national team, you know the country where we grew up, it's difficult to find people
That's right.
like the coach I play under in Nigeria, believe me. Coach Manu Garba and Nduka Obade, Manuel Amunike.
Wow.
Yes, played Barcelona.
Oh, Emmanuel Amunike, that's
Yes.
1996 Olympic
Yes,
winner?
yes.
Wow.
That also coached Osime.
Wow.
Yes. So Manu Garba picked me up from my academy. I don't have manager. I don't know what is manager. I don't have nobody to say helper. And I don't even come from the home where somebody will say is coming to offer 1,000 naira to you as a bribe, like for me to play football, because they don't believe in football.
You were the first from the
Yes.
family.
If possible, even in my area as a whole, I'm the first person. Like to make it professionally in football. So is that not God? And believe me, I didn't go to the screening in national team. He come to the street, like state by state, they're organizing tournament. And I was playing for my academy. And at this point, I quit football. I took out all my football jerseys and everything. I gave it out. I give up because already in this point, my parents are already tired.
Wow.
Because I was not really consistent with my education in secondary school. Then. I'm always trying to leave school to go for a football tournament or this, you know. So, and at this point, I almost give up because everywhere I go to then, like, who is your godfather? Who is your manager?
Really?
Yes.
Nigerian football?
Yes. I went
It's not
for
about talent now.
Yes. I went for some scouting, trial, screening.
No matter what you perform?
Yes. And after the game, they will be like, who bring you here?
Wow.
I had nobody. Believe me, I've once used my YX school fees to pay for a talent hunt
Wow.
in Nigeria. I don't want to mention the name, you know. In Nigeria, I used my YX money to pay, and believe me, that was just that limit where Manu picked me up.
Wow.
Yes.
What a risk.
Yes. So I did that, and my parents get to find out and all of that. It becomes a big problem. I have to do conductor, you know, to be able to pay for that, where I can buy football boot again to play football.
Wow.
So at that point, I left everything and I said to God, if this is your will and this is your desire and this is the way you want me to go through, may your will be done. And believe me, at that point, I stopped training, stopped football for almost 8 months.
Wow.
Already Manu came to my academy first time, he picked one player, Musa Yaya. He played with me also in that World Cup with Kelechi and Achotaro.
Of course, that name sounds, yeah.
Musa Mohammed, all these guys. Even this Chikweze now.
Chikweze in AC Milan.
Yes, he
Wow. All right, gentlemen and ladies, welcome back again to the second phase of this interview. Like you already know, we're speaking with MON Aliyu Abukakar. MON stands for Member of the Order of the Niger, a very high-profile recognition given by the federal government to this gentleman. We're very pleased, we're very humbled to have him in the studio this evening. Young footballers, want to be where you are. You've played, you've featured in under 17 World Cup, you're finalist, winner, under 20, under 23. You've traveled through the different continents of this world.
Yeah.
And you've really left your mark, and you're still making your mark. What have you got to say to young footballers who maybe feeling discouraged? They lack this motivation to go on because perhaps there's no reward for all the hard work so far. What have you got to say to them?
Yeah, what I would say to them is, in life, sometimes your successful moment are your giving up moment. Because it's just maybe one step away, or it's that moment which you just need to open the door for the success to come in. I've been in the shoes and I understand how difficult it is, mostly for we from Africa and kids from Africa, because the platform also is not really there to be easy for African kids like here in Europe. But giving up for your dream when you really want something, if you said you really want something, then there's no excuse to give up on it. You can only give up on something you don't
really want.
But something you want, something you desire, something you determine, then believe me, that thing that is coming to break you is the same sign that is coming to show you that this thing belongs to you. Because when you just wake up and you wish for something and you just get that thing, believe me, the thing can come crashing the same way you get it. But when you go through some storms,
it actually builds you.
It builds you. It builds a character in you.
That's right.
Don't forget the lessons you learn during your moment you're enjoying the football, when you're playing in the pitch. The friendship and everything, the life lessons you learn from it. So never you forget, and people you look up to, they were once like in your position.
That's right.
Without support,
That's right.
and some with support.
That's right.
But never give up in your dream.
I like the phrase, I like this quote from you, Mr. MON Aliyu Abukakar. Your successful moment are your giving up moment.
Yeah.
Can you expatiate a little bit?
Yes, because sometimes what you really desire, that moment you feel this thing is going to break me. Don't forget, behind every bad sign there's a good sign. Maybe this moment you're feeling that down is just that moment you just need to push that
A little bit extra.
because the success is waiting for you behind it.
Wow. Fantastic.
So that thing that is stopping you is the same thing that if you can push through, maybe it's that one step you just need in.
And I like the fact that you're speaking us from your own personal experience. You're not just speaking from maybe the books you read or motivational speakers. This is what you've gone through
Because
yourself.
I grew up in my life, I grew up fighting for everything.
Wow.
Even until today, even my football career, everything I fight for.
Looking at you, you look like someone who grew up with the silver spoon in your mouth. You were born with a silver spoon. Like, you look calm, gentle, composed, tranquil, not under pressure whatsoever. So it's hard for me to reconcile.
Even in the pitch, when I'm playing, people always say like I look calm. Even in Nigeria, when I was playing for under 17, under 20, what they call me, they compare me with u20, the gentle giant.
Legend.
Yes.
Wow.
Gentle giant. Stephen Keshi, may so
Very calm, even under pressure.
Yes, may so rest in peace. That's what
That's
he
right.
called me. He said the gentle giant,
In your opinion, who do you actually think you play like or look like footballistically?
Well, growing up, well,
Makalele, Kante.
No, I'm a very, very calm person in the pitch. Let's say maybe like Xavi Alonso, Van Dijk, all these guys.
Wow.
I'm a kind of a mixed player. It depends on the game.
Okay.
And it depends on the tempo of the game. I'm a kind of player that can adapt to any tempo. Because I'm a very fast defender. I have good speed. And I'm strong. Technique.
Obviously.
I'm good also with my passes and everything. Because I started as a midfielder and all of that. So let's see. I'm just a kind of a mix,
A hybrid of
like maybe Ramos, Van Dijk, or
joined together. Well, I'm so pleased to have the pleasure of personally interviewing MON Aliyu Abukakar, and I'm pretty sure the millions of viewers across the world who are watching right now will have some questions you want to ask him, you want to get in touch with him, you want to benefit from his personal life, the challenges he overcame, and of course to participate in the splendor he's enjoying right now. If you want to do so, I will try to leave his contact, not personal phone contact, but his Instagram handle on the screen. What is it again?
Aliyu Abukakar 20.
Aliyu Abukakar 20. Please do well to follow him, and then you can, of course, send him a private direct message through that means. What are going to be your last words before we leave this evening?
Well, my last word is never give up in life. Always believe in your dream and put God first. And don't forget to pray.
Everything he's told you, he's done it. So he's speaking from practical experience. Thank you very much, MON Aliyu Abukakar, for joining us. We shall have you in the studio sometime later in the future.
Thank you.
All right, guys, keep in touch. Next video to follow.